Hello, Sagittarius. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Light Seers Tarot by Chris Ann. No crazy cats today. We're not doing crazy cat things. Logue, come on, man. Let's not do that today. Let's not be crazy. Like I have a choice or something. Supportive Oracle cards. The Spirit Animal Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. No, really, don't do that. No. The heater's going, the curtain's moving. He's like, oh, my favorite toy. So, okay. The heater just turned off, so maybe I'll get a reprieve. We'll find out. Anyway, let's get back to Sagittarius. That's why we're here, right? That card, why do you keep showing up, dude? Okay. I know it's been 2 other readings that this is shown up on, and I'll show it in a minute, but your end result has a weird energy. Like, people seem like partially disappointed, but it may not be bad, and it just keeps popping up. It's not the worst ending. It's actually, I feel like what they're saying is like, instead of feeling bad about something, they're trying to give you a different way to handle something so it doesn't have to end up that way. Let's see when we get there. I'm just surprised that card keeps showing up in that position. Everything else is different, but that one card. 3 of Cups, 10 of Wands. Going with the flow. You got the turtle spirit here. Going with the flow. It says slow and steady wins the race. When I see sea turtle, I feel go with the flow kind of energy. Just kind of like going with it. Getting things done. It may not be the quickest situation, but it's got movement to it. These 2 cards, though, working with other people, and there's a lot of stress with this. Like, something isn't matching. There's some discord here. It's not the worst situation, but it may feel like it's kind of like... It may be like putting a lot of pressure on you. Like, you're feeling like maybe I need to handle something, but it doesn't seem to be in a place where I can really do anything right now. Something just feels off. I'm not happy with how things are going. Stuff like that. But it's kind of like it's not in a position for you to really change things or to really move things around or do things differently. Not at this point. In the environment, whoever you're dealing with, this is where all the stress is coming from. There's lack of movement, but there's not, like, there's more thought and there's more resting, there's more healing. I'm also getting, like, the skunk here. When I feel skunk, sometimes it's like when I really go into the skunk energy is about, you know, something beautiful, in my opinion, that has a very, like you don't want to get too close, because if you set it off in the wrong way, it can be very smelly, and it can just stink up a situation for a little while, and it can be very unpleasant. Even though it's very beautiful, you gotta be very careful, very delicate with how you handle it. It's kind of how I'm looking at it. It's like, I don't know if you've ever, I don't think most people have, but like when I was young, I remember seeing a baby skunk or dealing with a baby skunk, and it didn't have that smell thing kicked in yet. It hadn't kicked in yet. And they're a lot like fuzzy cats. Like, they are, and I like cats anyway. So they're very cute, but it's when they get that smell thing going, it's like, oh, well, well. This, whatever you're dealing with, this person, for most of you, I think it's a person, there's a healing aspect, there's a thinking aspect, there's a going through the motions. They're going through something, they're evolving through something. But the information is not coming to you, and they don't want you coming close to them. They're not the worst energy, but there's that energy of like, you come too close, I'm going to spray you. You know, pretty much that's what it is. And you're like, yeah, I don't want that. So, we're just going to, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. You want to handle it, but you're like, yeah, this could go bad very easily, so I'm keeping back. Between you, what's going on? Koala, armadillo, and pig. I like the pig. The pig is, I think, a really cute one in this deck. I like the way they portray it. I think the pig is really, really cute. Koala, like, has specific needs. It says something about a divine plan. Spirit has a plan. Armadillo talks to me about protection. I'm assuming that's where they're going with this. Set healthy boundaries. Okay, so I'm getting more protection, and like there's a plan here. Things need time to work out. just work well with this energy for now. Give it time. Like, I feel like there's no rush, but there's this need or worry on your side, like, am I neglecting something? Which is very valid, because you're like, if I'm neglecting something, that's not okay. If I'm just, like, letting something sit there and it just gets worse, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I kind of think of water damage. Like, you know, something's going bad and there's a hole in the roof. The longer the hole in the roof is there, the worse it gets, the more damage, the more it has to be repaired, the worse things can go. It's kind of like once you know there's a problem, you probably should deal with it in some respect so it doesn't get worse, at the very least so it doesn't get worse. In this sense, and you might be having like that concern, like, oh, if I don't deal with it, it's going to get worse, and then I'm going to wish I handled it in the beginning. Something that could have been a fairly manageable fix might have took a day or two is now going to cause for a complete rebuild in that part of the house. And it's kind of like, oh, if I had just handled that like I should have, it wouldn't have gotten that bad. And that might be like the urgency you're feeling. Like, if I handle it now, it doesn't have to get really bad. But in truth, for this one, if this reading is hitting for you, of course, it's kind of like, no, this is different. Somebody's thinking out their thought process. Somebody's working through something. They need some time. Things are coming together. The pig is very interesting because I think the pig is very cute, especially in this deck. It's kind of like how people perceive the pig versus what it really is. And that's what I really get from this. Like, I don't think pigs are that horrible. Some people don't like them. Like, if you just stick them in a pen and they have mud in their own slop to fall over the place with, I can understand they'd be quite gross. But if they're taken care of more like a pet, they're usually quite clean. I think that usually they're clean anyway, unless you kind of like confine them into a very small space and they don't have the room to really take care of themselves like they'd like to. That might be different, but either way, the point is this is not as bad as you might think it is. This just needs some room, and I feel that with the pig saying this needs some room. If it has adequate room, this can be actually quite pleasant. You know what I mean? What we might have learned about the situation may be different from actually how it may come forward, and it can be a really good thing. It's almost like also, and it's coming through, so I'm going to go with it. Some people look at pig and they literally think food. They think bacon. They think whatever. And it's like, that's not the only purpose for the pig. You know, there's other purposes for the pig. And they think that's one of the things they're also putting in here. Like, what you're used to doing with this energy, it's going to evolve, and it may go a different way than you expect. So I'm not saying you're a person, whoever's watching this, that you look at a pig and you go, oh, food. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that that's the analogy. Some people do, and then you're like, oh, wait, what can they can do this for the land, they can do this, they can be another, they have other purposes. Like, we don't have to use them for food, we could use them for something else. And I know they have other purposes, I just don't know what they are off the top of my head. But I think they're good for the land. Could be wrong, I think it depends on what you're doing, but you know. Wait it out. Wait it out. At this point, we're almost halfway through. It's like, this might be a long one. You got the King of Pentacles. They're like, just watch, but pull back. Let this energy come forward to you. Be more, I don't want to say accommodating. I don't think that's right. Be more open to conversation. Throw out little things like, you know, conversation starters. Realize most of those probably won't go anywhere. But every now and then you'll just hit it right, and through the law of averages, they'll start communicating. Small, gentle conversations. So when I say that they won't really hit, like, you probably get response, but nothing out of the response that's going to add to the puzzle. But every now and then you're going to get another piece of the puzzle, like, wait, what are they thinking? That's interesting. You know what I mean? Just be delicate with it, be diligent with it. But they're saying hold back. I'm feeling that with the Pentacle energy. Like, hold back, but keep the line. Keep throwing out information. Keep throwing out conversation starters. And every here and there, you're going to get more information. I feel like the more that you're able to receive this information and just kind of take it as information, like, oh, that's a good conversation. Don't direct the information. Don't receive it and direct it. Receive it and go, oh, that's interesting, tell me more. Or go, oh, that's interesting, I was wondering about that too. In this direction, what do you think? Oh, okay. But don't direct the information. You can grow it, kind of like, you know, somebody says, oh, you know, I was going to go over there and start like a chicken coop. Oh, really? I was thinking about eggs before myself. What were you thinking? Well, I was thinking I wanted them so that they would eat the bugs and stuff. Oh, that's a good idea. You know, you can put out something like that saying, oh, was this what you were thinking? No, that's not what I'm thinking. This is what I'm thinking. Oh, that's interesting. Tell me more. keep going with that, because I feel like this will start unearthing the mystery for you. The more you understand, the more you know about what they're really thinking and where they're really going, I feel like it's intriguing. But it's kind of like whatever, even when they're telling you this stuff, just keep absorbing it. Keep talking about it. Let the situation come forward. I'm getting the Two of Wands with the Chameleon. Now, the Chameleon is a very interesting character, in my opinion, because, yes, it blends into the background. But, you know, like, this just reminds me, like, sometimes they blend in, but when you notice it, you notice it. I don't know how to explain this. Like, I've done it before where I've seen a chameleon, like, on a leaf or, like, next to wood or something, and then, like, you notice it, and you're like, oh, and you're realizing I'm seeing something not everybody sees here. And the chameleon can also kind of scamper around and disappear again. The thing is, you don't want to scare it. It's kind of like that. Like, you scare it, it runs, it hides, it changes color, and then it kind of hides somewhere else. And it's like, you saw me there, but maybe you won't. You'll keep looking for me in green. I'm not green now. I'm like a reddish brown here next to this stone. You can't see me now. They're like, you're not gonna see me now. The Two of Wands, they want to tell you, but they're very cautious about it. They're cautious about this information. For whatever information, they've got stuff they're excited about, and I think that's why they're very protective with this information. The more positively they feel you're responding, like, the more they interpret that as a positive thing, like you're not trying to derail them, you're just curious what they're thinking, the more you're going to get from them. They seem to be constantly questioning, like, should I tell the Sagittarius more? I don't know, let me think. Okay, I told them more. Should I tell them even more? I don't know, let me think. And they keep going forward and backward and forward and backward. I think they're going to tell you at some point what they're thinking, but when they're going to tell you more. I get, like, things are coming forward. It's funny, it starts out with the Queen of Wands, but then it's going to go into the Knight of Wands. At some point, you're going to realize that they're very developed with their thought, and you're actually helping them decide what they're going to do next. This is something they need to decide, though. This is very much in their realm. I feel like when it finally comes forward, you may not like it at first. Because, again, the Four of Cups, but I also see the Peace dove here. Like, it says be at peace. But when I see it, it's very, like, the wings being open like they are and very beautiful. It's kind of like, you know what? I want to embrace this. I'm going to embrace this. Part of it's like, this is not exactly where you're going, and you're realizing this is changing things. This will change things. This information will change things, and you're not completely convinced that you like that totally, but you're also kind of like, you know what? Everybody's got to do what's right for them. It's very, like, it's not bad. It's not bad, but I feel like when you start really unearthing what's going on and what's coming next, it's like, I don't know if I like it, but I understand that this is where it has to go. And I don't know a better way to put it. Like, that's the best way I could say it. Like, you get that this is where that has to go. This is what this person needs to do. But again, it's like, the reason you don't like it, I feel like that's subjective, but it might be kind of like, well, I don't know if we can work together anymore, or I don't know how this is going to work in the total situation. It might change that too, and I don't really know if I want that to happen. But at the same time, you realize for this person, this is what they need to do. And I feel like with the Peace, you're accepting it. It's just like, I don't know if I like it. Again, you're accepting it, you don't know if you like it. Again, the Knight of Wands, once they really get their power going forward and they got their strength going forward, they're going to start getting on plan. When they're on plan, the energy does definitely improve. But again, it's kind of like, I feel like I understand that's where this needs to go. I just don't know if I like it. You get the Two of Swords, and then, it's Coyote. Coyote is I like Coyote. But Coyote can be very much, at least the way I look at them, it says trust in divine detours. It reminds me of Dark Blessings. I don't have any reason other than it just pops in my head like that for whatever reason. But in the sense of, like, it may look like something's going wrong, but when it's all said and done, it actually went for the best it could have. It's kind of like wanting a new house, and then you lose your house whatever way you lose it, and you're like, oh, this isn't what I wanted. I lost my house. But I did want a new house, and then all of a sudden something else opens up, And because you lost that house, maybe the way you lost that house, something else comes to you and you're like, well, since I have this energy open, I was able to get the actual new house I wanted. I didn't like how I lost the last one. It was not fun. I didn't enjoy it. That was not what I would have chosen to do. But where I ended up is I ended up with a better situation. I ended up with what I actually wanted to. I wouldn't choose to do that again the way it happened, but where I ended up, I'm very thankful for. And it's kind of like, that's what I feel with Coyote. It's kind of like, I don't really like it as it's happening. I don't like the way it was chosen. I don't like the way things play out. But when I get to the other end of this situation and all is said and done, I very, very much like the outcome. And I think they're trying to give you that heads up. You may not like how this is going to play out. I mean, it's just how it's coming through. Whether I like it or not, that's how it's coming through. But they're saying when it's all said and done, you may very much, very, very much like the outcome. You just got to hold on and get through it. Just keep going. Because it looks like it's going to go very well. It's just kind of like, I can't see it. I can't see that outcome. I can't see where it's going. I'm actually nervous about it. Trust in the divine. You're going to be surprised when it's all said and done. It's going to be worth it. You still might look back and go, well, I still don't like the way it happened, but worked out good. Anything else with this? All right. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.